Dear representatives of the summit, dear guests, dear ladies and gentlemen, this morning I came from the southern part of Zug by bicycle, and I had to fight the wind, the northern wind. And this gave me the idea that there are a lot of winds from north, from south, from east, and there's a place in the canton of Zug called Allen Winden. It means all winds. So all winds come together, and today and tomorrow all winds come together from all over the world. It means you with your ideas and activities. And I hope you get a lot of energy by this wind you're responsible for. And maybe through my explanations you will find out that you have chosen a good place for your summit. We are very proud that the SIIA has chosen for the second time Zug as its location, and I think this second summit will have even more impact, as you have heard that other partners like ARC are with us during these 2 days. In my speech, I would try to explain why our canton, it's the smallest canton in a very small country in the world, why it has a little bit more impact than it seems to be on the first side. So if you take it geographically, as I told, we have 26 cantons within a very small country, and Zug is a very small one, the red dot on this map. So geographically, we are of no importance in this world. But if you adjust now the size of the canton regarding to its economical power, measured by the contribution of taxes collected in Zug, which goes to Bern, to the capital, this map has another shape. It's like this. So Zug is the red, not dot, but the red region again. So if you take the economical power, Zug has a lot big impact on the national economical power. So let's ask us why is this the case? I think Zug is like a role model within Switzerland. It's a good business location. And only to take 2 examples, there is a Financial Times ranking, FDI ranking, which has chosen Zug as a top region within Europe, so number 2 of small regions, or number 6 of all European regions for the future. So here again, obviously, it does not depend on the geographical size, but on a more powerful policy in economical terms. Or Credit Suisse does since 20 years a ranking, and Zug always on the left has been on the top when it comes to criteria like not only tax rates, we have low taxes, but the general level of education is very good. We invest in manpower, qualified manpower, and we invest in transport infrastructure. I will come back to this. So again, when companies, or when we ask companies why they have come here to choose Zug as a business location, they tell us, of course, taxation is important, but it's not. It's far beyond taxation. It's the whole package which is important. So the package of mainly this and other elements. So we profit from a political and financial stability over decades. That's true for Switzerland, but especially for Zug. Then the financial stability is very important. So we have a sane household, we have predictable taxation. So if you come here, you want to know how it is in 5 or 10 years. And if you can say, okay, we have been stable for decades, you have trust. You trust in the policies and in the politics that they can guarantee stability for a long term in the future. So it's a long-term policy, a long-term investment. Then I mentioned and I come back with some examples. We invest in infrastructure to be accessible. So you came here today from I don't know where. So it's important to get in and out easily by public transport, by private transportation. And then maybe, for me personally, maybe the most important things, it's one of the global goals of UN, education, education, education. So if we invest in talents, in future talents, and I think here every investment is the best you can do. So some examples, I will come back to this, where we invest especially. And it's always the package. When I came in, a person asked me from the Netherlands, but why have you become so important in fintech, financing technology or crypto technology? So it was not because the government 10 years ago thought we want to be the first in fintech in 10 years. No, that's not our thinking. We do the framework. We want to have the best framework for companies. And if your activity fits to this framework, you will come here. If it does not fit you, you'd better go elsewhere. So we don't want to push certain specialized industries. That's not our thinking. It's more a liberal attitude that if the conditions, the overall conditions are the best, you come here, and it will create an organic growth, and not because one minister thought it's nice to have a fintech company here. So it will go because the minister will go as well. So that's the background thinking of our policy. So maybe some example to make it real. 12, 13 years ago, a nice new city train was created around the lake. So it has millions of passengers each year, and it's very easy to get in and out and to have access to the city. It goes directly even to the airport. So this was one as an example, one investment in infrastructure and transportation. The other point, and here maybe for sure one of the reasons why Zug has become now a fintech and crypto technology center. 20 years ago, the canton and the Chamber of Commerce invested in a new institute for financial services, University Applied Science Institute. And today it may be the most important in Switzerland for research and for education. And of course, this institute, it supports, it fosters everything around financial services, financial activities. And I think this is a long-term investment, but it's worth. Again, going on with education, we are part of Zug is part of the cantons who founded the University of Applied Science in Lucerne. And a year ago, we created a new department on information technology. And this department is based in the canton of Zug. It's on the other side of the lake. And you can imagine that these 1,000 students will support in research, in their activities, the financial cluster by means of information technology. So, and this combination, information technology and financial knowledge by this mentioned institute, gives us a scientific cluster, a scientific background for business activities all around financial and IT activities. Yes, a small example that the Institute of Finance Services as well has its courses, its activities in sustainability. This is an upcoming conference, nothing to do with this conference, but ideologically, yes, of course, upcoming conference on sustainable investment. So you see, it's here, it's real. So I can only support what Klaus said before. Again, coming now to a little bit closer to this fintech or crypto valley. I think today, if you Google crypto valley, you will find Zug. It has become a cluster of companies, over 50 companies in the last years in this crypto technology. A cluster has chosen Zug as their domicile. I mean, Switzerland itself, it's after Singapore a hotspot for crypto technology, and Zug. The brand was created by some persons, by me, this Crypto Valley Zug. And as I told you, it's because of the overall good conditions to make business because of the support we have from this mentioned universities of applied science and Institute for Financial Services. And maybe a little bit, Klaus mentioned it, that government policymakers, we are open to new developments, we are open to digitalization. We try to find solutions. We don't say, oh no, that's not possible if you come up with an idea. That's not possible because the laws, and so no, we ask, okay, make it possible, make your idea possible. So and that's our attitude from the policy maker side to make things happen like the summit today. Okay, maybe the strategy behind it has a lot to do with sustainability. Even in our strategy of the government, the word sustainability does not show up, but behind it's sustainability. Why? You'll find a lot the balance between growth and natural resources. So that's maybe the ecological side of the sustainability. Nevertheless, we want to keep our top position in business to be one of the best places to do the business in the world. For us, it's not a contradiction. So here you find the economical pillar of sustainability. And finally, we think it's not all about the state, the society, the individuals. They have their responsibilities. Like today, it's a private initiative, it's a private conference with a lot of public impact, but we foster and we support such private initiatives. So this may be the social side of sustainability. So as you see, sustainability as a word, it does not exist in the document, but it's behind thinking, and you find this through these documents. And maybe for our next strategy, we will focus even more on social integration, so the social aspect will be more important, and the whole development and digitalization will be important. So it's not. That's why it may be not casual that Zug is top ranked when it comes to sustainability. So number one in the circle indicator. So these are criteria in sustainability. We found a lot of companies in sustainable business in Zug. And finally, as I mentioned, I think it's important to support initiatives like this one. And not to think that the state can do everything. So overall, linked, all the thinkings and activities are of course linked with the openness to the world. It happens to be that more than 130 nations are present here in Zug. You will find all languages present here in Zug. For our kids, it's natural to speak English. When you go to the station, you can speak English or French or Italian. So openness to the world, I think that's important. We focus and we invest in internationality as well. One example, we created a vocational training in English, not only in German but in English, just to give our kids, our youngsters, a perspective to the world, and to invite other companies to invest in vocational training in Switzerland. So to close my short speak, I feel you have a very interesting program today and tomorrow. I wish you a successful summit. And again, to say, I think it's a very good partnership. Maybe you feel how we think, and that's why it's great to have you here. It's a good partnership with SIA. And I hope, of course, after the second time, this summit will grow to a tradition. As traditions are important in Switzerland, we are an old country with a lot of cultures, and that this summit will grow to a tradition like other traditions. We have a strong tradition in cherries, cherry cake, or even the cherry brandy. So maybe during these 2 days you will have the opportunity to taste one of these. If not, you buy at the station, you buy a cake when you go home. So I wish you a good summit. Thank you very much.